Wait, have you guys ever, like, gotten broken up during the holidays?
During a holiday? No.
Oh,
I mean,
my God.
Oh, I feel like she has a good story.
Oh, my God. I have a crazy story.
Oh, I'm excited
One
to hear this.
that I've never shared with anyone, but I think it's been, I think it's been 5 years, so it's past the limit of, past the
statute of limitations.
Statute of limitations. Thank you very much. So I told you about like the whole like drug mule situation, right?
Yeah.
Have you heard it?
Yeah. No, you told me.
So basically, I had a boyfriend. He was a confidential informant, and I didn't know. And everything was going great. I thought he was the one for me. I thought that we were perfect together. And then one day he goes, "I'm gonna get killed by the Mexican drug cartel," and I'm like, "What?" Like, I thought he was, like, the perfect guy. Like,
wait, he just out of nowhere, like, just randomly just...
Like, yes. No, actually, he just started slamming on the steering wheel in the car. Out of nowhere. And I'm like, what's going on right now? And he starts crying, and he's like, I'm about to get killed by the Mexican drug cartel. One of my friends stole drugs from them. And, like, he never did drugs in front of me, never talked about any of this.
My
so
God.
it was just completely out of nowhere. I thought I was dating, like, the most straight edge, like,
Yo,
guy
catfish is real.
Yeah.
Even in person.
He's like, the Mexican drug cartel's coming after me because my friend stole drugs. I need to get more drugs to replace it. He's like, do you know anyone?
Yes, sweetie, of course. I know, like, I have, like, 10.
I had went to prison as, like, a juvenile, so he knew that. So he thought that I would have, like, connections, but I've never been affiliated with drugs or, like, anything like that, so I didn't. And so long story short, he ends up, like, sourcing drugs, and he told me that he was going... This is a really dark story.
I know, I'm like...
He started telling me, I said... How did it get to that? Okay, so he wanted me to sell them to someone. I forgot why, but it was like a whole reason. I was like, no, I will not sell drugs for you. Yeah. And he started like being like, oh, I'm going to kill myself. I'm going to shoot myself if you don't do this.
Oh my God.
The story's so
This is like dark. It's like, hey, I'm with you, but it's like, hey, like, I'm going to kill myself if you don't sell drugs.
Yeah, like he literally would be texting me like, hey, you need to go to this place right now and sell drugs to this person. I have a gun in my hand. I'm going to blow my brains out if you don't do this. And so the first time that he made me do it was the day before Christmas.
Oh my God, that's so...
And I'm crying, I'm texting him, I'm like, I don't want to sell drugs, I just got out of prison like a year ago. I don't want to go back to prison, I don't want to do anything illegal, bro.
Oh my God.
And so he's telling me he's going to blow his brains out, so I'm like, eventually I'm like, fine, I'll do it. And so, again, long story short, I do it. I had... The person that I was selling drugs to only wanted a certain amount of drugs, but he had given me like more. So I was just like, no, just please take all the drugs. Please take them all. I don't want to do this ever again. And so this is actually what
He's like, hell yeah, Merry Christmas to me.
No, that's what saved me, is that I did that, because it turned out that that person was an undercover cop.
Oh
and
my
boyfriend was setting me up because he was a confidential informant. And so because he couldn't find... Or actually, he knew drug dealers, but it would be dangerous for him to turn in actual drug dealers. So he turned me into a fictitious drug dealer.
Wait, isn't that like a term for it?
It's called entrapment. And so my proof that I didn't actually want to sell drugs and that I wasn't a drug dealer...
Is because you gave all of it.
...was that I gave all the drugs, and I was like, please take them. And they were like, are you sure? And I was like, please
Are you sure?
Yes.
They're like, you passed.
And so the day after Christmas then... They come and get me, and I'm wearing an Eeyore onesie, like a whole undercover drug force comes and gets me. They're like, we know you're a fucking drug dealer. Give me your connections. Like, you're from the south side of Chicago, aren't you? And I'm like, no.
Wait, how old were you?
18. I just turned 18.
Oh my God.
And
that's really young to be dealing with that.
And so they were like, so I was like trying to explain to them, I'm not a drug dealer. And I was like,
I'm wearing a onesie.
I'm wearing Eeyore onesies. And I didn't want to snitch on like my boyfriend, even because I had no idea that he was the one that was like setting all this up and caused this to happen. And then eventually they told me, they were like, hey, we think like he's the one setting you up. So then I was like, okay, and I told them the whole story. And basically, because I had given like all the drugs to them and made them take it, they believed me. And so they couldn't arrest me because it was entrapment.
Wow.
And now it's been 5 years, so I can talk about this.
Holy shit. Yeah, like, and it's been 5 years, I can talk about this.
I mean, I have no story similar.
Yeah. I'm like, yeah, I can't relate.
Like,